Okay, let's say you're going to use a sheet bend, but it's not strong enough, or what you're towing is too heavy. So you can use a double sheet bend. Okay, so here you go. You got this piece over here. Again, you're going to come up just like you would for a square knot. Okay, see that? But instead of coming through here and calling it good, you're going to make one more wrap around everything and then poke it out. Pull everything up. This will tighten your double sheet bend, and this puts a lot more torque, a lot more strength on it, so you won't slip. This is if you had some heavy load. Double sheet bend. Okay, now we have the double sheet bend. Okay, so let's say for example we have our tail. Let's say we're going to do our sheet bend. We did our square knot, right? Or our thief's knot in that case. Let's say the sheet bend would be here, right? That's the single sheet bend. Let's say we want to add some strength to it. What we'll do is we'll take this tail, we'll run it all the way under, and we'll go through a second time, and then we'll pull everything tight right there. So we basically have two wraps on the same knot. So this is a double sheet bend. Gives you a little more bite, a little bit stronger. This is an excellent knot. You can tow things and it'll come out easily. That's the double sheet bend. Okay, I'm back, everybody. Let's talk about the double sheet bend. Okay, the same scenario. I have my ridge line that I'm trying to put up, and I don't have enough cord, enough parachute cord to get around this tree. But the only thing that I have with me is some 11 mil dynamic. So we're going to go ahead and use the double sheet bend. The reason we use the double sheet bend versus the single is because there's such a difference in the size of the rope. Okay, you could put 2, 3, 4 wraps, however many wraps you want on there. But that's going to be the double sheet bend for us. See that? Beautiful contrast of colors. So now, just as always, I'm going to put me a little slip knot right here. Okay, set that down. Let's run this around the tree. And let's finish our ridge line. So we're using a little bit of 11 mil. Another thing that you could use this for, looks like my slip knot's about to come out. Another thing that you could use this for is if you had to tow somebody, maybe there was a car in the ditch and you had some 11 mil, but it wasn't enough, and maybe the only thing left that you had was some 6 mil or something like that. You could definitely use a sheet bend for that. Okay, so let's get this thing pulling. My slip knot's not cooperating right now. Okay, there we go. Now, let's pull this ridge line. See that? Pulling it nice and tight. There's my sheet bend. Let's go ahead and set this over. Reach through and find the tail here. Pull it back. Oh, loosened it. Let me tighten it again. This larger rope makes it a little bit difficult to tighten. So one over. Reach through. We'll just pull it right on top of this branch. That'll be fine. Okay, now we have us a nice solid ridge line. Let's take a look. Now I normally wouldn't leave it that crappy in a real situation. I'm just doing this for the video, just to show the sheet bend. Okay, normally I would terminate it much cleaner than this. But there's our sheet bend. You can clearly tell that this thing is plenty tight. Okay, so that's some of the uses for our sheet bend. When you have two totally different sizes of line.